ça va?
Ça va, toi?
Ouais, très bien, content de te revoir.
Ouais, pareil.
Thanks for la course. Thank you. I don't have my card with me.
Happy New Year, happy the rapid New Year. So how about you recently? With LSTC? Yes. Okay. Yes. The Women's Day. We have
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Welcome to TTA, to this eco-transition event. Thanks for your time, all of you. When we were preparing this event, we realized that many people, they don't understand or they don't know what is eco-transition. So the definition that we found is a concept that aims at proposing a new social and economic model to address ecological challenges. So that includes not only ecological challenges, but also social and economic aspects. But the key word is transition, means changing. It's not easy. Thanks to Cédric, we have an important figure to share. Only 1%, less than 1% of companies presented to this day credible transition plan for climate change. And that's official sources from the CDP Global. So there's a lot of work to do. But transition change is also means that we need to think differently, and that's also the core mindset for innovation. And as French Tech, we really like innovation. We like startups. This is what we really enjoy learning and promoting. And so we wanted to focus on that on this event. One thing also, an example of Decathlon, our long-term open innovation member who are going to focus on concrete examples of what they can do internally and externally. Concrete, I insist on this word because this is when we were invited by Jean-François, Casabonne, Masonnave in your residence in September. He asked and suggested that we focus on concrete examples and concrete initiatives. So this is what we try to do with the content of today. And without further ado, we can start. So welcome everybody to the event, and please welcome Jean-François Casabonne Masonnave for the first opening remarks.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for mentioning my obsession, a kind of obsession. We were just discussing at that point that I am certain that we need to develop our cooperation in the field of environment, not that we are doing nothing. And this event today is a very good example, but especially between the government in France and in Taiwan and the institutions in general, we probably can do more. And this has to be a new priority. We try to identify new fields of cooperation between France and Taiwan. We just identify one new one. It's a secret, but it's Olympic Games. Just happened. But the environment is a long-term priority. Yeah. Dear Director General Tsai, dear Director General Su, distinguished, always difficult to say, distinguished for French, distinguished guests and speakers. First, I would like to wish all of you a very happy new lunar year, because it's the first kind of the first event of that kind for me taking place just after the celebration of the new year. So I wish all of you the best, and especially for the French Tech Taiwan team, because they are doing a wonderful job. They did in the past, they are doing today, they will in the future. So thank you. We are so grateful for your dynamism and action here. So the climate change and the environmental crises have consequences that we experience every day. It is our common responsibility to address these issues and to find solutions to reduce our impact on the environment and ensure a sustainable life for future generations. I think everything is okay. French Tech Taiwan identified the importance of this topic early, as they made it one of their 3 pillars for 2023, along with diversity and talent. This strategy allowed them to be the beneficiaries of the last community fund, and most importantly, to be renewed as a French tech community. These results show how dynamic and well identified this community is for both in France and Taiwan. Congratulations for the team for these successes again. The startups and key actors to address ecological challenges, along with technical innovation, they are the drivers to a new social and economic model. And I am very happy to see gathered here today global startups and innovation stakeholders from France and Taiwan to share with you how they create the future. I would like to thank L'Oréal and Decathlon, without whom it would be impossible to organize such an event. And of course, the team France with CCIFT and Business France. Qui n'est pas là? Business France is arriving on his way. I would also like to thank Director General Tsai from Environmental Protection Agency and Director General Su from the National Science and Technology Council for opening this event with us. Finally, I would like to thank French Tech Taiwan again, never too much, for the organization, and Taiwan Tech Arena to host this event and be such a loyal partner and a great partner of French Tech Taiwan. I wish you all a great event, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Director Casabonne Masonnave. Second speaker is Director Tsai from the Environmental Protection Agency. Please welcome.
Thank you, Director Masonnave. Okay. And the Director General, Ms. Xu. Oh, okay. In Chinese, Xu. Okay. And Co-President, Mrs. I'm not sure how to say that. Zhang Lizi. Okay. And the distinguished participants. It is my great honor to welcome you all to the 2023 Eco Transition event. First, let me express my deep gratitude to the French office in Taipei, French Tech Taiwan, for jointly organizing this event. We are facing three major ecological challenges: environmental pollution, biodiversity loss, and climate change. To address these issues, we must build a new socio-economic model that is more resilient and sustainable. In this regard, I'm glad to share that Taiwan passed the amendment to the climate bill titled Climate Change Response Act in January this year, officially writing the 2050 net zero goal into law, signifying our determination to strive for a carbon reduction policy agenda. Along with that, the Act includes the establishment of authority and the responsibility among ministries and agencies, setting the Executive Yuan's National Council for Sustainable Development as the coordinator for cross-department collaboration. Under the principle of respect for human rights, the Act also incorporates the spirit of just transition to ensure that the affected communities and the indigenous people's rights are taken into account. Importantly, the Act further introduced carbon fee as a carbon pricing scheme imposing on emission sources, with the collected revenues dedicated for the use of greenhouse gas reduction work and the subsidizing corporate investment in carbon-reducing technology, such as switching to low-carbon fuel, adopting negative emission technology, and advancing in energy efficiency. With these actions, we will strive a low-carbon economy development. Moreover, A chapter of adaptation is added to the advance our nation's capacity building and the scientific research ability to tackle climate change. With this climate bill, Taiwan is now on a solid path to address the ecological challenge with the world. To achieve the 2050 net zero transition goals, in December 2022, EPA, together with the National Development Council, announced the action and the measures for the 12 key strategies action plan based on the 4 major transition strategies in energy, industry, lifestyle, and the society. The 12 key strategies include utilizing nature carbon sinks, promoting resource recycling and the zero waste, and such more. In addition, these strategies can bring various benefits for the economy, supporting the development in 4 of our supply chains: solar, wind, EV, and energy storage. By 2030, we are spending about 900 billion NT dollars in government budget for major plans to implement the 2050 net zero goal. Also, we are mobilizing our private investment capital to 4 trillion NT dollars and creating over 550,000 jobs by 2030. This key action will guide our green transition of industries, drive economic growth, and promote green finance to ensure a smooth transition to net zero. Lastly, I would also like to stress that in order to achieve the above, governments should join hands together with citizens, business, and organizations to promote greenhouse gas reduction work, develop negative emission technology, and thus foster international cooperation. Finally, I wish this event a great success and hope you all enjoy the fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now please welcome Miss Andrea Xu, Director from the General Department of Academia, Industry Collaboration and Science Park Affairs.
Sorry for the long time.
It's okay. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bruno. Thank you. And Director Mr. Casabonne Masonnave, right? And Director Renaud, and from the French office in Taipei, and Director General Tsai from EPA, and Director PHIV from the Lafarge, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Andrea Xu, the Director General of National Science and Technology Council, NSTC. And first of all, I would like to start by thanking Lafarge for the invitation today, and welcome everyone to TTA. TTA stands for Taiwan Tech Arena and was established by NSTC in 2018. And we hope to build and strengthen Taiwan's startup ecosystem by translating research outcomes into startups and help local entrepreneurs connect with the world. TTA also facilitates viable and more in-depth collaboration between startups, multi-internationals, and investors. And we are happy to work with Lafarge in the very beginning when their Taiwan office just located in TTA. And we have had many meaningful events together, like today's event, addressing eco-transition, which is the shared focus worldwide. Last year, the Taiwan government announced the roadmap for Taiwan pathway to net zero emission in 2050. Innovative green tech brings new solutions and business models for universal ecological challenges. We recognize the importance of uniting international communities to achieve fast and impactful results. And this is why we value our partnership with French Tech and France deeply. Last month, 96 Taiwanese startups attended CES 2023, and more than 1/4 teams are from green tech field. 2 speakers today, TSGC Technology and Mekai Polymerics, are also this year's CEA's Innovation Award winners. With the steady growth of green tech field related startups, we are planning to introduce them to the global stage through Viva Tech this year in Paris. We will continue our efforts to create new opportunities for Taiwan to connect to other nations, and we look forward to a new year of working closely with friends. Without further ado, I wish today's event a great success. All participants here with enjoyable and happy experiences this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Cerise PHIV, co-president of the French Tech Taiwan. Please welcome.
Director Casabonne Masonnave, Director General TSAI, Director General Su, thank you for your encouraging words. It's good to know that Taiwan is actually really advanced in the sector of the eco-transition and circular economy, and that we can have more partnership and projects between Taiwan and France. I'd like first to thank Thibaud Brunel, Vice President of La French Tech Taiwan, also the MC moderator of today's event, for leading the organization of this event. This event wouldn't be possible without our team of volunteers. So thank you, Cédric, Ravi, Jonathan, and Claire, Colleen, for all the time and effort you are committing to La French Tech Taiwan. And everybody else who actually, of course, is a volunteer, but also help support La French Tech Taiwan. Thanks also to La Team France for their support, the French office in Taipei, the French Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Taiwan, Business France, and the Committee of French Foreign Trade Advisors, as well as the Taiwan Tech Arena TTA for accepting us in their location, their great venue for so many years. So to many more, hopefully, years also of collaboration and partnership. A special also thanks to our corporate sponsors, Decathlon, L'Oréal, whose presentations you will hear today, and also Crédit Agricole, Total Energy, Thales, who are present with us today in the audience. Last but not least, thanks to the audience, to those who are here with us today at the Taiwan Tech Arena, but also for those who can join us on our online streaming link, if it's working. I heard there was some maybe little technical mistake, but problems, but I think because we're of La French Tech Taiwan, we should be able to solve that. And yes, thank you for your interest in our events. There are many more events to come. So subscribe to our mailing list, follow us on our social media to stay tuned. So we hope that today's event will pick your brain and contribute to our common goal for a better and a greener world. Thank you.
Thank you, Cerise. You can stay here because we are going to do the group picture. So please, a speaker, member of Team France and member of the French Tech Taiwan, please come on stage so we can have a group picture. Thank you. Okay, great. Let's start on the content. The first startup is ChimesAI, represented by Peter Chang and moderated by Ravi. Please welcome on the scene.
Hello all. As you know, French Tech is all about startups, for the startups and by the startups, and especially the startups which have eco values embedded in it are the ones which we have selected today to focus. And the first one to do today is ChimesAI. So Peter is representing ChimesAI today. So Peter, like, why did you, or why was ChimesAI invented? Like, why was it founded? What are the core values of ChimesAI?
Okay, so actually, well, let me talk about a bit about history. So before we started our company, actually we're a group of enthusiastic data scientists, and we compete in a lot of like hackathons. So, and we especially compete in the hackathons that were about public welfare. So, well, the next page, please. And yeah, so we compete in various hackathons. So, like energy optimization, like long-term care, and like domestic violence. Like in long-term care, we were competing in the presidential hackathons. Yeah, and so by this hackathons, we discovered that actually there are a lot of industries and a lot of people that are enthusiastic in like ESG issues, and however they didn't know how to use the mathematical issues, and they didn't know how to use the programming things to solve their problems, and this is the only way that data scientists can help them. So actually, our CEO Johnson, he discovered that, well, this is not our data scientist thing, it is everyone's thing. And so he made an AI platform, easy to use, in order to help everyone to solve their own problems. So this is why we were introduced in like 2021, July, yeah.
Cool. So it is a little bit hard for startups in particular to have eco values embedded into their organization model. And also it will be a challenge to innovate continuously while you're maintaining your eco values. So at ChimesAI, how do you guys actually manage to innovate, but also maintain eco values?
Okay, so before talking about how we do innovation, I can talk about what is AI. So actually what AI does is actually do three things. They do prediction, they do optimization, and they give root cause analysis. So like make an example, like as for carbon emission management, we predict next year's carbon emission. We optimize next year's carbon emission, and then we give root cause analysis to tell you why the carbon emission is like this and how we optimize these things. And this is not the only issue. Like water resource management, like raw materials management, or even like in social part, like employee safety, labor relations, or like government's part, like sustainable supply chain. These were all the top AI projects that we can do with prediction, optimization, and cause and effect. So, however, although we hope that everyone can use AI with our AI platform, but however, actually this is not that easy for everyone to know how to use this. So we still had an ERC consultant in order to help them to solve the data issues, to help them know what is the actual pain points, or help them to solve this whole issue part, yeah.
So after understanding the eco values and then trying to innovate, was it easier for ChimesAI having the eco values not only to succeed in Taiwan market, but also entering into the international market?
Well, actually, as for AI issues, actually we need a lot of data. So we start in the manufacturing industry. As for manufacturing industries, they had a lot of their, They had a lot of factories, they had a lot of machines, and they had the data in order to help them to reduce the carbon or tell them how the energy saving part. Yeah, so actually, we started in the manufacturing industry, not only because this is a wealthier part, because they got money, yeah, and because of they had data. And so this is easy to get in. And so for the first year, we're in like manufacturing industries such as silicon wafers, such as petrochemical industries. But like this year, we started to grow out in social welfare, like in retail and like financial parts. And because now we're in manufacturing industries, many of them were not only in Taiwan, but also in like China and Vietnam or many other parts. So, like in this year, we also stepped out with the industries. They were using our product in Taiwan, but now they are using in Vietnam, so they're using in China, yeah, like many other parts of countries, yeah.
Cool. So it's nice to know that you guys have already expanded from Taiwan to international market as well. Cool. So as we have seen that it was not easy for them and it was quite challenging in order to achieve the state they are in today. So while you are trying to achieve these high-level goals in your company, like what were the challenges that you guys consider as the main ones that you managed to solve?
Yeah, so actually, the AI pipeline is really long, so there are a lot of difficult issues to solve. And today I sort out the three major parts as for the challenges. The first part, and the biggest part, actually is the data part. Where is the data? If you need data in order to make an AI model, so that's why, so like even in like manufacturers, some of them didn't even have enough data to, the key factors in order to build the model. They may have the key factors like handwritten, and they're not optimized enough in order to make the whole system work out properly. Yeah, for the data part is the biggest issue. Okay, and then for the second part is the domain knowledge part. So for example, if I'm a data scientist, I'm not going to know what is petrochemical stuff is going on, and not going to know what is financial stuff is going on. And in order to serve all these kind of different customers, we need domain knowledge, and so they need to know what they are doing indoors. And both customers and we need to know what is going on here in order to help the model to serve properly. And the third part is the break-even point. So the break-even point is highly connected with the data part, because if you don't have enough nice data, you're not going to have nice models. You're going to get garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have data, you need to build the data system, and that's going to take about a year. And then you start to build the AI model, so that's going to take another year. Then it means that for the first year, there's not going to be any benefits. It's only just like cash flowing out, and you're not even knowing what's going on. You're not even going to have a good proof of concept to make AI good enough to know that if it is really working out. Yeah, so I guess these three parts are the major challenges that we have faced now.
Cool, nice to know. So taking this kind of a transition, like you guys now should have reached a state of being a subject matter expert, right?
Yeah.
So from your point of view, what do you think the future holds for eco-transition?
Okay, so I guess we'll go back to ESG part. So that, like for the environmental part, we believe that we're going to bring environmental friendly, and for the social part, we think that we're going to bring people-oriented culture, and the G part, or governance part, we're going to bring sustainable operation. But how? So we're going to bring like optimizing management, predictive maintenance, and reduce waste output. These were the easy parts, really easy one, that we can now do this in this year or in the next year, because every company's had these kind of data. So this is the environmental friendly part that we're going to foresee in like 2 years. And next, for experience transfer learning, reducing workplace risk and employee happiness. These were the models that we have been proved that work well in some of the companies. And we have some key concepts. So we believe that with our model and with cooperation, we're going to bring a more people-oriented culture in different companies. And for last, sustainable operation. This is a more complicated one because you need many tiny models, like optimize. You need to optimize like in factory A, factory B, and factory C in order to bring like the whole company nice management. So that's a more bigger part. So we'll bring assistant for management, predictive analysis. While we finish the environment-friendly part, the people-oriented culture, then we can bring so-called sustainable operation to us. And so this is the major three parts. As for this part, this is what we have done for the past and now. And this is what we have been doing this year. And this is what future lies in, so-called sustainable operation. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So for French Tech, the way we see innovation is by sharing ideas, by collaborating, by open innovation and things like that. So for ChimesAI, like how do you see innovation as?
We think that innovation is how people cooperate with each other. Like before, we only have like data science experience, and by collaborating with many experts in different regions, we can come out to know that well, actually there are many different issues, especially like environment friendly, like social friendly, or like governance friendly part can be sustained or can be established. Yeah. So by this kind of speech or talkings, actually we can, I guess, promote new values out and bring a new better world, I guess. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
and
thanks a lot.
For session 2, we have TSGC Technologies Inc. We'll be speaking all about solar panels, how we're going to upcycle it, recycle it. And the speaker for that will be Olivia Young and will be moderated by Thibaud Brunel. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Hello again, everyone. Olivia, welcome. Thanks a lot for your time and for being here. Olivia is from TSGC Technologies. They're working on devices and solutions to recycle and upcycle solar panels. So maybe briefly, can you explain what your company does?
Okay. Hello, I'm Olivia from TSGC. So our company was just established last year. We are spin-off from National University of Taiwan under the leadership of Professor Fu. He's the expert in green energy, also with Vincent and Andrew. So under their leadership, we propose an eco-friendly and economical recycling solution for solar panels. And our purpose is to address the environmental impact caused by end-of-life solar panel and to accelerate the energy transition toward a better future.
So can you explain briefly how your technology addresses ecological challenges, which is the topic of today?
Okay. So let me start with a little bit great background. As you might notice, the solar energy is booming, but it also comes with the waste crisis. So if we ignore that, it will become 1% of global waste by 2050. But the good news is most countries start to recycle it. But the problem is they use chemicals or heat in the recycling process. So it's not good for the environmental, right? And so that's why TSGC will provide in a more eco-friendly way to recycle it. It's our product called PHIV circulator. With it, we can recycle 100% of the materials from the solar panels. And we reduce the recycling cost up to 95% and also reduce the carbon emission up to 99%. And our equipment combined with the artificial intelligence, like we use Vision AI to identify what kind of the solar panel it is, because there are tens of thousands of specifications of solar panel in the world. So we need a better database. And also with the Web3 and the AIoT, we can gather data and the records of the entire process. So people will know how many solar panels are recycled and how many carbon emission they reduce. So we'll provide the upstream user this record for free. We made the recycling process more transparent. Then people will know where the input comes from and where the output goes to.
Yeah, that's a solution also that is very much in line with the core industries of Taiwan.
Yes.
Automation, of course, machinery, and AIoT,
Yes.
so Internet of Things. Yes. So, Peter, you can get your data from this kind of device. So, can you talk a little bit about the recycle and upcycle?
Okay. So after the recycle, we will provide this material to downstream to reuse. For example, the backsheet, they can be a renewable materials to produce the water filter. And the EVA is kind of plastic. They can use in the production of sneakers or yoga mat. So that's why we realize the circular economy, because we repurpose every materials and they can be reused by downstream industry.
Okay, so you mentioned upstream and downstream. It's good that you mentioned EVA. Our friend from Decathlon are using a lot of EVA in their shoes.
Okay.
And most of it are recycled solution. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
So more from the international point of view, do you have any plan of expansion from Taiwan?
Yes. So now we are developing and manufacture our equipment in Taiwan. And we collaborate with one of the recycler in Taipei and to test our equipment. And at the end of this year, we'll launch our recycling service in the United States. California is our initial market. And then next year, we will expand our market to Europe, like France and Netherlands. That would be our initial market. And before launching this service, we'll also participate in some exhibitions. Like in June, we will go to Germany for the Intersolar exhibition, and in September, we'll go to the United States. Okay.
If you need some help on the French territory, you can contact Business France.
Okay.
They are
Thank you.
very good at this.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe talking about the future, what do you think is the challenges that you are encountering and how you plan to solve it?
Okay. So our challenge include the regulations, because we want to promote this solution to the world. But the regulation and restriction varies in different countries. So it takes time for us to check with our product or service is comply with the local market or the regulation. But it also comes with opportunity, because, for example, in California, the state governments, they prohibit the use chemicals or heat in the recycling process of solar panel. And our solution, we only use the physical technique. So we can say we are the only solution for California. And other challenges like bias, because people might have bias, recycling solar panel is costly and polluting. And that's why we try to participate in more events and to reverse these situation, reverse people's bias. And third is stakeholders, because the new recycling model might threaten the existing markets and the stakeholders. So we think collaboration is essential. We need to find a way to partner with them.
Okay, in a word, maybe to keep talking about the future, so what do you think will be the vision, the future for sustainability and recycling in general in your field?
Okay, so in my opinion, circularity is key, is the way forward, because we need to rethink and redesign how we produce, how we consume, and most important is how we manage the waste. Because let's take solar panels and wind turbines, for example. While it's providing us the clean and renewable power right now, but we need to think about after 10 years or 20 years, when they reach the end of their life, where will they go? How do we recycle that? And how to do to minimize the environmental impact. So I think a more comprehensive plan is essential. And in addition, citizens like you and me, we have an important role to play, because we can change our behavior toward a more sustainable lifestyle. Because our action will in turn to reshape the supply chain. They can develop a more sustainable way to take and use the resource and reduce the extraction of raw materials. So then we can get closer to sustainability.
Thanks. We have just a couple of minutes left, so maybe one quick word about how, in your process of innovation, did you interact with the ecosystem in Taiwan?
Okay, so I think the innovation consists of different actors, relationships, and resources. They are so important to bring a great idea to our life. So I believe sharing ideas with different actors, like with the industries, government, university, or investor, we can get more diverse perspective, and we can get feedback to revise our plan to meet the market's need. So I think innovation combined with the cross collaboration and everyone's engagement, it's more easier to realize our goal, no matter it's realize the circular economy or sustainability. That will definitely to benefit our planet and everyone on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's good also to see in your founder team you have people from university and also people from industry. That's a good mix.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Olivia, for your presentation and your ideas.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
No problem. We welcome back Ravi as a moderator and James TSENG from IDWater, Ilan, to talk about. Thanks so much. To talk about heat generation and water consumption.
Hello all, Hajabujin. So basically, if you look at the world, 71% is water. If you look at our cells, human body, 60% is water. Now, obvious question is Taiwan and water. What are we going to do with Taiwan and water? And here today we have James, who is aptly named the company as IDWater, and he's going to speak more about IDWater. So could you please tell what IDWater stands for, why was it founded, and what is it trying to achieve?
Yeah, I'll briefly introduce our company. So I'm a representative to, on behalf of our company to give this speech. So IDWater basically is, at its core, is to do the shrimp farming in a sustainable way. So our long words in one sentence, we use the AIoT, basically the AI solution, and the contract farming program to develop the sustaining shrimp farming. I'll explain that why the existing shrimp farming is not sustainable, and it's actually damaging the earth and emits a lot of carbons. I'll explain it later. And so we have three angles about the technology advancement and innovative business model, and also the eco-friendly design.
Cool. So when you're trying to create such a diverse model, especially with water, you need to have a kick-ass team and also execution in order to innovate continuously in this particular market. So how do you guys try to do that when...
Oh yeah, so I'll explain from the operational level inside the company, and then later I'll also mention that how do we think further beyond our company. So inside the company, we have two dimensions to embed the long-lasting, the ESG mindset to our day-to-day activities. So from two angles, one is the top-down, the other is from the all hands, all staff. From the top-down perspective, we have the regular executive meeting, and during which we compare our concept. We basically benchmark the ESG practices of other industries across the world, and we discuss it in the executive meeting, and after which we each leader implement in their respective teams. And on the other hand, we have the all hands events, and so that's the event, that's the place that we educate and we promote the concept to the staff. For example, in 2022, last year's All Hands, we invited the professor and the speaker at the Greenpeace to talk about the solar and fish solar hybrid farming. And before then, in the 2021's events, we watched the documentary movies about the global climate changes. Yeah.
Cool, wonderful. So by having such a good structure in place and also being such a dynamic team, did the structure enable you guys to actually win the Taiwan market, but also at the same time, did it allow you to be selected as one of the best teams to be selected from Taiwan in the international markets?
Yeah. So So our like we mentioned that our core activity is about the shrimp farming, and the background context is that the current existing shrimp farm, so shrimp's market value for each year is about around 30 billion annually, and 90% of them are the white shrimp farming, which took place in the outdoor pond, and that the outdoor pond comes from cutting the mangroves and forests. So that's why the existing shrimp farming is not sustainable, because it cuts a lot of forests and a lot of mangroves. Especially the mangroves, carbon fixation is 6 times more, is 6 times more than the traditional rainforest. Yeah. So our activity in Taiwan and are currently focusing in Taiwan and in Southeast Asia. So in Taiwan, we partner with the solar energy companies, and we basically do the solar fish hybrid farming in the vertical practice to save the land resource, that we can have double outputs, the green electricity and green shrimp. In the Southeast Asia, we because of the energy policies is very different from Taiwan. They don't have, most of the countries, for example, Thailand or Vietnam, they don't have the demand for the solar energy, and they don't have, let me rephrase that, they don't have the sufficient electricity cable that we can distribute the solar energy we generate. So that means our energy can only consume by ourselves. So in Southeast Asia, we focus on the shrimp farming itself, and not partnering with the solar energy companies.
Perfect, perfect. So when you're trying to achieve your high-level goals within the company, I'm sure that it was not a cakewalk, right? You definitely did go through a lot of challenges within the organization and also in the market in respect to products and solutions. So how did you guys manage to solve issues and come out as a winner?
All right. So I have I'll give the background intro about this. So, like we mentioned, that traditionally existing practice, this type of farming model accounts for 90% plus of the current practice, industry practice, and it caused a lot of deforestation, cutting a lot of forest, and this activity is continuing because the outdoor farming, they don't have the resistance to the disease outbreak, meaning that once the disease outbreak, it will accumulate it around the pond, and also the creature will enter it. So generally in Southeast Asia, they just abandoned it. So when they abandoned it, they need to cut another forest to build a pond. So that's why more and more mangroves and forests were cut, and more carbon emission to outside. And our solution is basically what me think from 2 dimensions. One is about prevents the forest cutting, the eco-friendly. Second is our solution has to be profitable to encourage the current 90% of this segment to transform to our model, which is profitable and economically high motivation for them to adopt it. Yeah, and this is the conclusion of our the goal we are moving to, 7.2 times profits than the current farming practice.
Cool. So when it comes to future, right? So you guys have gone through the whole process. You have gone through the challenges. So from your point of view, what does the future lie for companies to do the transition, or the eco transition?
Okay. All right. Let me just quickly go through this about our challenge, because I didn't mention it. The main challenge is about entering the new geography, because our AI solution has mostly been developed, but entering the Southeast Asia is another top challenge, and also how to change the current industry practice from the outdoor pond to the indoor shrimp farming. That's another challenge for us. Yeah. Then we can go to and based on our calculation, if the most of like 90% of the outdoor farming could be replaced by the indoor shrimp farming adopting our AI solution, that can reduce the carbon for 20 million tons per year, which is around 0.2% of the global consumption.
Cool. So when it comes to innovation, like how do you guys innovate with respect to eco values embedded within IDWater?
All right. Then you can move to the next page. Yeah, we embrace 3 principles to encourage the innovation inside the company. So first, think the long term. Basically, not just concerned about the short-term result or short-term return, but think about the long term. And for the example is that this AI-based solution we took around, so already 6 years for us to achieve this technology. And second is about making impact to the industry. So not just thinking about how to compete with your competitors, but you need to think, we need to think about the whole value chain, the upstream and the peers and the downstream and the end users. Third piece about share and communicate. So we welcome, inside the company, we welcome any impactful ideas. Any impactful ideas we will discuss, we will share and discuss it and evaluate it whether to implement and how to implement. Yeah.
Cool, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we learned a lot about today on how to manage water. And the next session is always is going to be how to have a unique and a competitive solution in miniaturizing chips, which will be hosted by Jonathan. And the speaker is Julien MARTIN. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, yeah, I will take that. So we are in Taiwan, correct? We address eco-transition issue, but we are in Taiwan, so we have to talk about semiconductor, correct?
Exactly.
And we are very happy here today to have a very important, well, are you still a startup, or we can say like...
It's not anymore a startup.
It's not anymore, okay. But addressing some issue in semiconductor industry. So Julien here, can you present a little bit your company?
Yes, so Soitec is at the start of the value chain, semiconductor value chain, because we are selling wafers to foundries such as TSMC, on which they will print the electronic components. And so the wafer, for the ones who don't know, is the small plate that you can see on the Soitec. And while most of the market is bulk silicon, in Soitec we are doing engineered substrates, which is different layers of materials to bring a better performance and lower consumption. So
yes, so we will go a little bit in more detail in that product because it's actually something we will address later. So can you share with us a little bit more about your technology?
Okay, so quickly, we have developed a technology that we call Smart Cut to be able to cut layers at thickness such as a few hundreds nanometers. So it's like more than 1,000 times smaller than 1 millimeter. So you can imagine how small is it. And then we can do an assembly of material. And for example, you can see here most is SOI, which is, the name, the 3 first letters of Soitec. And actually, we bring, for different application, different thickness of the material will bring different properties. We are now leader in mobile phone RF front end, where the technology is in all smartphones. So you don't know, but you have Soitec technology in your pockets. And we are developing a new material as well for the new markets, such as GaN or gallium nitride or silicon carbide for the electronic vehicle, for example, to power that. And the same as a limited, to limit the consumption of energy.
Okay, okay. So we will see a little bit later how does it address ecological issue? But first, how are you positioned at the international scale, especially in Taiwan also?
So now we are more than 2,000 people. So basically, wherever there is semiconductor, there is Soitec.
Okay.
Headquarters in France, in Grenoble, the French Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
We have a big factory in Singapore as well. And in Taiwan, it's a sales office to support our customers, such as TSMC, UMC. The biggest foundries worldwide.
So we'll come back because, you are a big industry. So obviously you had ecological issue to address, which are very important. But first of all, we will go a little bit more about the technology you provided and how it addresses some ecological issues. So I let you detail a little bit more the advantages.
Okay, so we are working on two axes to reduce our consumption. So first, in the industrial operation, thanks to our technology Smart Cut, we can use only a thin layer of the wafer, and we can recycle the other part of the wafer to be used after, and we can use it up to 10 times. And like for some semiconductors, such as like silicon carbide for EV car, if you want to do 50 wafer, you need basically to put it in an oven at 1,700 degrees for 1 week. So you imagine the consumption of CO2. So if you can basically reuse it 10 times, you make big saving.
Yeah, okay, big saving. And also, as you mentioned, so you have some process which are heavily electricity intensive, and also in your company you want to address eco-transition issue at large. So can you share a little bit more about what how you address
maybe I will just finish on the previous slide.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
No, you go to the next one. No. Sorry.
Speaking about innovation as well, we are allocating every year 13% of our revenue to R&D. This to keep improving this assembly as substrate and to keep having wafer that are contributing to reducing the energy. And if we take, for example, a calculation that have been done in 2020, thanks to the wafer that we have sold all around the world, we have made a saving. People who use our product make a saving equivalent to a city of 1 million people for 1 year. So it's kind of huge. Yeah.
It's huge. Okay, so the technology itself allows us to make a lot of savings.
Comparing to, for example, silicones or alternative technology. Yeah.
Okay, understood. And so now how about your company itself?
Yes. Let's go through that. So Soitec has been one on the first company in semiconductors to engage in the 1.5 degree pathway. So for this, there is different scope. Scope 1 and 2 is for the direct emission. So scope 1 is for the CO2 that we directly emit by manufacturing the products. And scope 2 is by the energy that you use. What is the CO2 that I've rejected to produce that energy? And scope 3 is more indirect.
La pas de photo.
Sorry.
No problem.
Oui, mais fais voir.
That's the trouble of doing things both online and physically. Okay, we can continue.
Okay, and scope 3 is more indirect. So basically is your partner. Yeah. What are the CO2 that are rejecting your partners? It can be your freight forwarders when you send the product to your customer, or even the employees of the company. If you choose to go to work with your SUV instead of by bike, basically you won't contribute to the target of the company.
Okay.
And we actually have really a big target because we aim to decrease our scope by our direct emission to 25.2%, and scope 3 indirect to 35%. Even despite this is by 2026. While the company will grow more than double in the same time, so it's quite impressive.
Huge challenge to do. So yeah, according to this strategy, what, according to you two, what is the main challenge that you have to address in this strategy?
Okay, it's still on the previous one, but
sorry.
The challenges, actually, I will just highlight two challenges. For example, for the scope 2, the energy that you use. The first, we try to find decarbonated energy as much as possible. So in France, we have managed to get our supply of 100% from hydraulic. So it's basically full green energy.
Lucky to be in Grenoble.
Yeah, exactly. But for Singapore, for example, it's not the same because most of the energy is coming from gas. So we are looking for solution for solar panels, trying to improve that.
Okay.
Another example, for example, is for the air freight. We try to do as much as possible sea freight, but when a customer places a PO, an order, and asks to be delivered quickly, there is no way for us to actually being able to deliver by boat. So our mission is also to try to embark the customer on this target, because if the customer is embarked on such target, he will be incentive as well to respect it and to plan ahead to be able to ship it by boat.
So it's also a relationship with your suppliers, with your partners that you have to build to address this issue. It's something important.
Exactly, and yeah, we can move to the next slide. Where
okay. So yeah, what the future of eco-transition according to you and your company?
In Soitec, we want to be a leader in eco-transition, and actually we have to embark all our ecosystem and stakeholders, which means, as you just say, supplier, customers, the employee. We incentive the employees to take common transportation, take the bag, the government, the shareholders. And now in Soitec, we, in our group priorities, we have put, not only growth and profitability, but at the same level, we have put the people and sustainability. So now, for example, when we are looking for a new supplier, we won't only look to the price and the quality of the product, but we will pay attention to the sustainability as well.
Okay, so I think we are right on time. Okay,
Perfect.
Great, very great. Thank you very much, Julien, for this presentation.
You're welcome.
I will leave the floor to Cédric and Nordine from Enodia. Cédric will be your moderator. And actually, it will be the first presentation with the online speaker. So it's a test for us. So yeah, I leave the floor to Cédric and Enodia. Thank you.
That's it for us first.
Improvisation.
Yeah, improvisation. So in the waiting time, so maybe I introduce myself. I'm Cédric. I'm based in Taiwan. I'm in the energy industry. So this today's topic, the ecological transitions, is something that is in my mind as well, as we are doing that in my company, and we are totally involved in this process here in Taiwan and in other areas. So, and I'm very happy to be here. In fact, today I'm somehow a new member of the French Tech Taiwan, and so thank you, Cerise, thank you, Thibaud, thank you all the team of the French Tech. They are all volunteers, and they also give the time to build and to bridge events like today, because what is funny, we see Decathlon, we see very nice big corporation and also startups. So this is the French Tech as well, right, to connect startups and bigger corporation, and that makes sense also for us to join such kind of event today. So are we good or not?
Nordine is reconnecting. So what we can do is we will launch the break already. There's a great catering from Balisha. So we can do the break first, and when Nordine is connected, we'll...
Okay, so maybe Charlotte is there. Charlotte?
Charlotte?
Yeah, let's introduce Charlotte. So welcome, Charlotte. So Charlotte is an entrepreneur woman. She's the boss of Balisha. So today you are gathering us. So what do we have today?
So today we have banana bread.
Oh.
We have some chocolate cake.
Excellent.
We have some cookies with orange and comfort. And some salty fries.
Excellent. So thank you very much. So we have first the break. So please enjoy and see you at what time? 3:30, right? 3:30? Yeah, 3:30, 3:35. Thank you. Bah alors. Ça va?
Il a créé en utilisant les semi-conducteurs qu'il avait ajoutés.
D'accord.
October, November, right? So she was